What is going on, everybody? It's me, RDV. I'm here with Geeky once again, and Easy Eric Breen down there. Zach will be with us later on, so set your clocks now so you know when to leave. When Zach shows up, it's time to end the stream. Got a few books this week, at least about 11 books, so it's average for me, I guess, compared to last week where I had a lot fewer, maybe 9 books or 8 books. I can't remember who it is. But the good thing is that some of my books are on the final issues, so I'm not going to pick them up anymore. So that being said, when they're on their final issues, and I'm saying I don't have to pick them up, I'm glad because they did not end well. But some of them are actually I'm going to miss. But my bad habit is that I pick up new books. Oh, I'll try this, and then I keep going with that book. To the point where I have too many books.
Yeah, I sort of do that. It's sort of the completionist in me. It's just okay, this is like mid, but then you've got the first one. You're like, or you're like, okay, well, this is okay, so let me just get the trade. But then you just keep going, and you're like,
it has to be really awful for me not want to pick up the next issue. Most books I will pick up the next issue out of bad habit sometimes.
I have an example this week of one that I will not be if I could go back in time and get rid of that first one, I'd do that. But
I'm starting to get that more Eric Breen or screw this habit. I'm just not gonna spend the money on it because it's not worth it. When I could buy something else or just hang on to that money for a rainy day. But yeah, and one of the books I have, I'm kind of really glad that's ending. It's mine. I'll quickly go share some full screen here. But number 11 for this week, and for anybody who's watching at home, if you have done so, please click like and subscribe. Let us know what you got this week down below in the comment section. Yeah, if you can, go to ko-fi.com/Puppeteen, drop $1 in the till, and help us basically keep the lights on here, keep the stream yard growing, keep Eric coming back in favorable health. But all right, so my number 11 this week. I'm just not a fan of this. It was running smoothly, and I kind of was getting some Captain America First Avenger vibes, but sadly, same problem as the first book with it, and it's Steve Mooney. There was a valid criticism for his first run for this, and Eric knows what it is. It's basically that at the end, he's saved by the woman from the first book. We all knew it was coming. I knew what it was, but it just gets annoying after a while. I mean, there's some shenanigans where they're making Betty Page, his girlfriend, pull a Mary Jane by putting on one of the Nazis' Rocketeers costumes. And basically she tries to help him out, but she crashes herself. But I can excuse that. But I'm getting sick of the other lady in the plane from the first issue. Let me see. They show it her. And right, yeah. Just as they're about to get shot down, there's a whole plane chase in here, and then she shows up over the radio and just says, "Oh yeah, here to save your bacon again." I just, even though she's in there briefly for a second, I just didn't care for that. The art is pretty good. I really like the art. I love the bright colors. But I think this book would do a lot better on more newsprint than this glossy paper. You can also do with a better writer, but for 4 issues, I guess what it is. The good thing about this, and I give the credit for this, is that she realizes that, hey, my boyfriend needs to be the Rocketeer because they save lives. She comes to respect for him. Before, in the first volume, she kind of, and even in this book, she really didn't like him being the Rocketeer. She wanted to give it up for her because she was getting jealous, and didn't understand why you need to be the Rocketeer until she realizes that he saves lives, and that's what he's good at doing, is saving lives. He's passionate about that. It's his passion, and there's a need for him. But overall, Eh, like I said, I'm just happy to have a Rocketeer book, and it's not completely like the point where we're getting like Stephanie Phillips writing it or Teeny Howard. But man, I miss you know, I believe his name is Dave Stevens, the original creator. And yeah, like I said it's a final issue. It's a 4 issue miniseries, but yeah. All right. All right. Actually, that was take it back. That actually was my number 12. So, or no, hang on.
How much you want to bet that Zach got the
Yep.
other cover?
Well, that was my number 11. Yeah, correct. My bad. I can't count. I don't know which one covered Godzilla, but he probably did. I think he dropped this actually.
Hmm. Well, if he
Yeah,
kept it, I'm sure he'd keep the other cover. You know what
yeah,
I'm talking about, though, right?
yeah. What's going on to Ash? Hello to Evil Black Cat. All right, my number 10 for this week. Uh, it's the book that I'm reading right now. I admit I'm smart, but I'm not Skip and Tosh. Our friend our friend Curtis. Was a really bright man. Uh, this is a book. I'm not sure. I wish this is one of the things that kills me. I wish he was alive so I could talk to him about this. This seems like a book he'd really like, but it's one of the book. It's out of my wheelhouse, so I'm like trying to make sense of it, but also trying to like not to criticize it too much. Um, Basically, we know there's some black liquid or something like a parasite that's taking over and killing the life in the oceans, and it's affected by sound. So right there, I mean, the critique in me is like, wow. So basically, the symbiotes have attacked and they're taking over the water and they're repelled by sound. It's original idea, sure, but they really haven't elaborated more than that. But they're basically building this team. All that beautiful footage, bean footage. All right. So they're building a team. They're going to go launch into space, and they're going to put on a concert that's supposed to the sound waves combined with this, whatever it's scientifically supposed to I guess from gathering is this going to defeat this pollution that's on the ocean or but it's very much it's very much drawn like an anime style concept about a scientist. It shows originally so these two scientists, work, they're former lab partners, kind of like each other. He's dying, and he can't go to space, so he's relying on her. The second issue, they're just basically going around and rounding up all the people who are going to be on going into space. Kind of like you saw in movie Armageddon back in the 90s. I think the whole book is pretty much the same, going from place to place and grabbing each person so because it's basically it's basically minus 4 days to launch. So they're getting their band together. Not that very compelling of an issue or story, but
the old movie When Worlds Collide, they did the same thing back then too.
yeah, beautiful drawn. Uh, but it's not, the story is pretty weak. I'm not sure how long I'll go with this, but I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure how long the story is supposed to be. But oh, here's the main girl, and then there's supposed to be the main singer guy, and he's like a little punk. It's basically wants to put him into place, so she shows him up by because he's got it takes place in a very like apocalyptic future or very future not apocalyptic but very far future. They don't really say what year it is, but it's kind of like Star Trek. Remember how Kirk had the old muscle car, in the J.J. Abrams kind of. So I'm getting kind of like that vibes too as well. They have all this future tech, and he's basically patronizing her. He'd be like, "Oh, you don't know, you can't handle it. It's classic." And he's basically driving a Mustang. The fact that the thing even started is a joke because everybody knows that Ford's just sitting in the driveway. But it basically shows him up, drives him in circles, to the point where he's got to vomit because, well, he just got done basically hiding out and was doing drugs and hanging out with basic hookers. groupies. Let's just say. Basically, the whole book, it feels like it's basically if you went to like the 5, like or just basically just recruited the most popular, like most talented, like people, musicians out there, and we're critics, giant super group, and you're gonna have them play a concert in space. Very 80s, kind of like a cartoon thing, from my eyes. But it's like I said, I wish Ash would read this too, because at least I have someone else to talk to about this, and like maybe they understand it more than I do.
Ash is smart.
Well, Eric, if you read this too, maybe I have someone to talk to. But I mean,
No, I'd ask you to explain it to me.
yeah. See,
If I were ever smart, I sure as hell am not right now.
why is that?
Oh God, everything's just in a fog right now.
Wow, if you're hitting the peace pipe, I want some of that. All right.
This is just not getting any better.
Did you go to the doctor?
Yeah.
What'd they give you?
I'm going back tomorrow.
Okay, like I said, hopefully you get something.
Share.
I don't get shit that messes you up.
Yeah. My number 9. Sticking with it. I mean, it's the way that I described it. It's basically like as Bendis is the Ultimate Spider-Man, Wade is to basically the modern alternate version of the Teen Titans. They finally reveal who the villain is. Who is that?
No one else is reading it.
No one else is reading it. Like I said, I enjoy the art. I'm basically buying it for the art more. But I mean, the story is not the best. But like I said, I've never been really a huge Teen Titans fan to begin with, so there might be hindering.
So who's the villain?
The villain is a new villain they created.
Okay.
They created a new one. Basically, there's this character named Haywire. And he went on a trial run with them, and he decided he was gonna like use this all this government secrets. He was gonna use it to blackmail. Like, oh, we can do so much. We can blackmail all the villains and all the governments, and they basically Robin kicks him off the team. Meanwhile, there's heartbreak or hardship, as far as they're hinting at that Donna's gonna break up with Uncle Lad and maybe go start dating Roy.
So they retconned everything else. Why not just retcon team members?
Yeah. But except there's a hinting in it, but we don't know. But I mean, yeah, those apparently Uncle Lad in this version. Like I said, this is the ultimate version. I honestly, when it came to Ultimate Spider-Man, I hated it because I hated modernizing. When you take it, I love the way it's retro. I don't like when people modernize to the point where it just loses its appeal. And that's how it was with Ultimate Spider-Man. But then I sat down and actually read it. It was actually pretty good. I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it. But
yeah, if you can separate, same thing with watching superhero movies.
Yeah.
If you can separate the movie universe from the comic universe, it definitely helps.
Yeah. They brought it. There's the villain Ant. I think he's the Ant here. They also got they probably all the other villains from before. Toy Boy, I think his name is.
I thought Ant was an Image character.
Nope. Calls himself the Ant. And
they had this one thing that came out, and it'd been like 16 years between like issue 1 and 2 or something like that.
I forgot who I know what you're talking about. That was Eric Larson was drawing it, or currently is. Was doing some books, but
yeah, that's what
like
I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, so basically what happens is that they get their asses kicked. They all have infighting. They all trust issues. Robin, at the end, basically, tells them, like, I take full responsibility for everything, I should be a better leader. Roy kind of gives him crap for it, and even Wally's kind of hurt because basically Robin had yelled at him, so it's like, hey, if you grow up and listen to me, instead of running around half cocked, you wouldn't, But there is Artemis. I thought that was kind of cool. She makes her first appearance in here. So at the end, basically, because basically they don't trust Robin. Like, how can we trust you? Everyone else knows their secret identities. Robin's the only one. Robin was not supposed to before he's forbidden by Batman, and he ends up by taking his mask off. At the end, revealing. So, I really not hoping they're going the direction of F Batman. I don't want that Titans.
This, I mean, like I said, this. I could probably enjoy this more if I could separate. I mean, I've read every issue of the original Titans run. I'm a huge fan of it. It's hard to, to get to. World's Finest, I guess, is different because it's just kind of borrowing a little bit of everything. But I know where the pieces fit in the old Teen Titans series, and I just can't get that. Apparently, I just can't get that through my head. And I'm pissed at DC anyway. So
though, like you said, it's funny when Ultimate Spider-Man came out, I could not wrap my head around where's the Frank Sinatra quotes from Spider-Man? Where's all the old school references? And then it's like he's got a smartphone, the long shaky hair like Leonardo DiCaprio, and on Growing Pains. What the hell is this crap?
That's wonderful. Oh, okay, Flag better be on Baltimore.
So I couldn't. It's just weird. So the other thing I noticed too in this is that they're doing another Batman '89 from the Sam Hamm, the writer for the movie. Debuts of Harley Quinn and Scarecrow in the 6-issue series come out this month.
So I'm taking that.
I might pick it up.
A different Joker because the Nicholson Joker died.
Well, I didn't say Joker. I said Harley Quinn and Scarecrow.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. I guess I should get my ears clear.
Yeah, because this is 89. This is 89. This is after the Joker is dead.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The last one was Harvey Dent becoming Two-Face. In Barba, is in there. But so the other thing that's I can say this. I know, Breen, you're like, I can't like it because you can't separate it, but we can all agree on this. Anytime I see an advertisement for Jason Aaron, it's like Bendis is coming. Remember those announcements? Bendis is coming.
Oh yeah.
Literally, they're just getting to the point where I don't care to see all this Jason Aaron crap, and I'm losing my just trust in DC for having a Batman book I can enjoy. The latest, like I said, I dropped Batman Beyond because Lansky and Kelly just sucked at that. I mean, I like the concept of Terry working as Batman in a world where Bruce has pretty much moved on or basically died. So it's him on his own finally. I love that concept. I mean, it just needs to be written better without these stupid Catboy crap. So, I mean, it keeps it getting worse and worse. Then we go to Just League Ruby advertisement at the end of this book. Holy crap. Yeah. So we'll figure out. Let's find out. All right. My number 8 for the week is Something Epic. Issue 7. It's concluded. Well, not this part of the story is wrapped up. There's a new story arc coming out in March, so it's not over. And I'm not going to sing about this. Ash, I'm just saying you need to read this, and maybe Eric pick it up too. Very, very beautiful art here. This is a guy who wrote Tonko Terror. Stars Elliot Page. This kid, it's supposed to be the main character Dan when he was. But just very visually striking. A very, very good, serious story with some action here. So, like I said, this is a book that I picked it up on a whim. I didn't know who the artist was or the writer. So, and I just picked it up. I was like, dude, this art's really great. And I just kept going through it. And I just keep going strong with it. Very fun book. And it's through Image. I've been getting a lot of Image books this year, which is just shockingly surprising for me because I normally don't buy Image stuff. All right. Number 7. It's Red Sonja by Thorn Grunbeck, who I was trying to figure out what her nationality was, but apparently she's Norwegian. And she, like I said, I don't know what, but she's like giving like the Walter Simon kind of Thor vibes, as far as like when he added the mythology and stuff here. Basically, it's very, very much attention to detail. Red Sonja, like I said, the last time Red Sonja was written like Red Sonja was shortly for me, was after Roy Thomas left, his book series ended, and she went over to basically 2005, and I think it was Mike Casey or Michael Carey, but a 2005 Dynamite series, and that's what it's been a long time since I've actually read a Red Sonja where I actually liked. If you're wondering, the 2005 series is where it went for 80 issues. There was no freaking stop at 25 and relaunch. The art's good here too. We're getting to see more of the villains and stuff in here. Completely different art than what you're seeing in the current Savage Red Sonja, which is a main hindrance why Red Sonja has been crap for the past couple of years. You had bad writers, or there's really bad art. Walter Giovanni, who did the art, sadly, on the Gail Simone book. But Kulan Gath is back. Yeah. So let me see if they show it. And also we get some tentacle action. Yeah. All right. So all right, my number 6. I wasn't sure if I should throw this in here or not, because technically it's a reprint, but they've amended certain parts of it, the original unedited script. So take it with a grain of salt. It is my number 6. This is the very first issue that was over at Marvel that Larry Hama did back in 1982, I believe it was. And they decided to basically put out the unedited version without Larry Hama said back without him knowing when they published it. They basically Hawk, the leader of the Joes here, had made a speech in here, and they edited it without him even knowing it. So by the time it was already up there, he said it's nothing what I wrote. It sounded what I wrote. So he basically put that more into his dialogue back into the book, and that's kind of why I got it, because it's not only it's an original newsprint format. It's getting that from the 80s here, but I saw. I mean, it's Herb Trimpe art too. So basically, it's an old story, but dialogue, so it changes the core of the story, the meaning of the story, a little bit. But so take it with a grain of salt. It's a newish old book. So, or you call it a retcon. I mean, I wouldn't mind reading this on the channel actually. And I know, Breen, you're not really a fan of G.I. Joe as much. I don't know if you are or not. I mean, the most I watched the movies and yeah, it's the original, the ones they put on the 80s, the original paper. Yeah, which is nice. Very fun book. Includes the no ads though, unless you call ads for the other books. So, I commend Skybound for actually doing a pretty good job on this, not putting on gloss paper. But I love the old school art. So very fun book. Oh, I also picked up Walking Dead, the latest issue, 77. So, all right, get to my top 5 here. Top 5 is actually is a book. It's another book that came out this week that I did not think I'd pick it up. You know what? But I've never read an issue. before what you saw was my first issue as far as I was reading comic books as far as J. Joe's. This is the second one I read, even though it's 301. But I was like, you know what? I want to give it a shot. I watched the cartoons here and there. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but I wanted to see this. So my thing is that I'm always told you should be able to jump into a comic book without knowing the story. You should be able to jump in blindly, and you should be able to follow along and get with it. Fantastic issue, man. It's Chris Mooneyham does the art on this. Fortunately, the guy does not have social media at all, so I could not tell how much I love his art. My only complaint with this book, there's too many people in the cast, so it's hard to. So I'm always from beginning. Who the hell is this? Who's this? Who's this? So I mean, if you grew up with loving the cartoon series, you probably know all the characters by heart. But I mean, so if you like G.I. Joe, it's a very solid issue. And as I said, it is Larry Hama returning, writing, and continuing his 40-year-old run. So, very fun book. All right. Number 4 for this week is Green Lantern. I'm liking this book more the more I read it now. I wasn't sure at first. I mean, I've never been the biggest Green Lantern fan, but I'm liking the fact that they're actually letting Hal just do more impressive stuff. And it's from the mind of Jeremy Adams. So when it comes to cool like action stuff, like this is Hal, is a new power he has. He's able to basically channel the different spectrums of the lantern of the different lanterns, so he can view different. It's kind of like you switch the thermal, and then you switch the night vision, you switch this different spectrums, so you can see things for tracking. All I know so far in this is that there's something wrong with the Green Lantern, the whole emotional spectrum, whatever we call it. But I just love this. And what's up to Joe's Geek Show? If you haven't subscribed to him, please do so. Yeah. So like I said, you get pages like this. And it just goes to show you that Jeremy Adams is a guy. He excels at what he does, and I love his storytelling. I love his ideas. I love this better than the 90s Green Lantern. I've been reading some of that lately, and this is so much more fun. Now, that being said, I don't know if the 90s, if that's a popular series or not, but I'm liking it better. All right, number 3 for this week is Blade. This is issue number 5. Blade, it's basically last issue. Blade teamed up with Doctor Strange and a few others to basically get Lucifer's sword. Things go wrong, and he basically wakes up inside, basically the Saint. Basically Dr. House's house. What's called Sanctum's. Or I can't remember what it's called.
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Is that what it's called? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was that. It sounded weird. But yeah, we get to see more Doctor Strange in this too. The blue shirt Doctor Strange. I'm not sure if that's a new thing or old thing. Call back to that. But and because he got his ass kicked, Blade got his ass kicked his last issue. He basically was the demon basically she put another demon into his ex lover. And she basically just wants, Blade says, like, he's pissed off. He's like, I want another shot. It's like, and basically Strange is like, dude, you got your ass handed to you. Like, what are you going to do? You need a plan. You're just going to go in there, just fuck shit, basically just mess shit up, and he's like, yeah. That's what he does best. And like, I love how he's like, Blade just basically says until you let me go, get me back, or I'm just gonna start destroying things. Oh, I love this old vase. Oops, I broke it. And Strange is like, like, I can just replace it, right? I can just fix it. Anything you do. Man, so basically Blade basically gets his way, gets back in there, and he's got a shot to go against the demon. Using Lucifer's sword again. And he gets his ass handed to him a little bit again. But this time he ends up getting sent back. He's kind of still badly burned. And this is awesome. If you were a Blade fan, and from all the beginning, Blade's going to the one person he hates the most for help. Because he needs training, he needs abilities. And ready for this, Breen? Goes to Dracula for help. I guess Breen's. I'm all alone here, guest night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was muted.
I said I like the fact he's going. The next issue is going to be Tomb of Dracula with Blade.
Yeah, I would have liked that 30 years ago, maybe, but
yeah. I said I'm liking Brian Hill's stuff. It's been exceptionally good. Number 2 this week. It's Geiger Ground Zero, man. Just a fantastic issue. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. This I forgot who does this cover though, but this is supposed to be the Marvel kind of like cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And for those who have read Geiger, it's just kind of like an origin story, explaining from the main guy from the nuclear blast all the way up to the point where you see him in Geiger number 1. So this is what happened to him from his whole thing, his origin story, more explained. Gary Frank's art in this, it's just awesome. We even get a Junkyard Joe cameo in this. The cartoons. Yeah, like I said, I'm so excited for this. Just to read more of this. It's only 2 issues. The next one's going to be in December. Origin story, and then see some more going on. All the people working at there. Never focus. It's not going to let me focus, is it? No. It's Jason. You have Jason Fabek. They're telling me Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, McGee, Francis Manapul, Brad Meltzer, Peter J. Tomasi, and Natal Shoot are the new guys. Everything coming out this year.
Yeah, hopefully they won't buckle to what I'm sure will be enormous pressure to bring in some Vitas and Danny's and Stephanie's.
I hope they don't.
I can almost guarantee they will. The industry can't help itself at this point. No one's going to listen to Mark Miller.
I guess. Well, Mark Miller. Guess what Mark Miller said? He said Jason Aaron should be on Justice League. So he's got his own questionable things,
Well, that doesn't mean okay. You can question his taste in creators, but you can't question his business sense. He's been spot on.
Sure. But I mean, I wouldn't let Jason Aaron.
Maybe he's thinking of Jason Aaron from 15 years ago.
Maybe.
Maybe he read Southern Bastards, which was good.
Jason Aaron on Justice League would be great if he had an editor told him you can't do this, can't do that, can't do this.
I wouldn't want. We've seen what he can do in a team book. No, thank you.
See, that happens when someone gets really big. I mean, if you look at some of the novelists, like Stephen King and all that. Yeah. When they first started out, they got edited and their stuff was tight and stuff like that. Now they're
right.
A million pages saying the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm assuming it's the same thing in comics.
So my number 1 book for this week should be no surprise. I don't know if any of you guys got this at all, but Big Game final issue.
Of course, we got it.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't read it, go read it now. I'm not gonna spoil anything here. I'm just. Oh my gosh! It's just awesome. There's so much that happens in this. Everything that I've been saying about it has come true, pretty much for the most part. We'll talk more about this on Monday night. This upcoming Monday night on Ash Channel at 11 p.m. Central. Ash Comics.
Ash has a channel?
Yeah, dude. I'll just show you the first page, the opening first page, so you can at least get the art. So, Joe, I know you're making a joke, but if you're not reading this, you are Zach level of not cool. Such a fun book. Yeah. Like you said,
I haven't read it yet either.
All these characters are in this book series, crossing over all the Molar books. So it is just a fun series. I was wondering if they're going to include a certain character based off a variant, and I was just like, dude, thank you. Not just pointless covers. Everything has a meaning. Everything is connected. It's great. Yeah. This is an oversized issue. I forgot how many pages it's supposed to be. It says in here, but yeah, it's pretty thick though. Thicker than a normal book.
I think the page count was, from what I saw, was like twice of what.
Yeah, I think it was 48 pages. Not sure, but honestly, dude, I'm just, man, I want to read more of this. I want more, and I don't know where they can go from this, but Mark Millar, this series, I guess you call this an event, right? Because it's 5 issues or miniseries, whatever, events. There's all these characters in there.
Yeah.
This is an event of the year. Bigger than anything Marvel's or DC's done in like probably the past 10 years, I'd say, for me. So I know Zach like Kirkman, but he likes Hickman, his stuff, but Hickman doesn't have anything on Miller. At least not now, currently. Maybe the Fantastic Four run back in the day, but that's all in the past. I'm going with current.
If they run this play, Zach Taylor should be fired at halftime.
I don't know, man. So there is one more thing I got this week. I was really happy to get hold of it. I've been collecting these. Getting the Invincible Compendium number 3.
Ooh, that looks hard pack.
It's a hardcover.
Because I got all 3 of them in softback, but that looks nice. That is nice.
Yep. It's just 97 through 144. And I just love how they show it's at the back here, just the inserts. No.
That's
be cool if they're bookmarks.
That's all I have left is Compendium 3 left to read. But.
Oh man, I just love it. I never picked up the physical copies, so I've just been picking these up just to have them. $100, $100 for this, but it's worth it though for me. So, and speaking of Invincible, go this Saturday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 Pacific. We read the first issue of Invincible, and that's going to be debuting at 1 p.m. this Saturday on the channel. So look for that.
Have you been watching the animation?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
It is.
I see Joe's in the chat now. Joe, do you want to come on or something?
No, I just talked to him a second ago. He just got back. He's got a bunch of homework to do. He's got to hop out and take care of some stuff.
Also, I apologize if I'm really quiet. My microphone way up in the back. I forgot to bring it up.
Yeah.
So
he would. He just didn't have he doesn't have the time.
Oh man. So none of us have the time. Even though it is the season for living. All right. Who wants to go next? I know you both are champing at the bit, right? Not chomping.
I guess I can go. I mean, I know Breen, you usually don't have a lot of stuff, do you?
No, you can go on. Go
Okay.
ahead.
But all right. So I have 10. Number 10. And this is the one I was talking about earlier where I talked about how if I could go back in time, I would have gotten rid of not gotten it so I could get the money and time back. Outsiders, number 1. They have uh, Batwoman in charge of it with, is it Luke Fox? Who's the Black Batman?
It's Jace.
Jace, whichever. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
and it's them, and they're supposed to be doing stuff where it's not soup related things, so they're doing other stuff. But then they spend the whole time in their outfits, and it's some big thing down in Antarctica where they're with a ship that is supposed to be doing something. They defeat it uh, in a single issue. But I want to open this thing up. I want to show you a piece of art in here that just made me think of something else entirely. Darn it, I should have thought of this. A second ago. All right. What does this remind you of right here? Every time I see that, I just think someone's going to come out and tell a character that he's their father. I mean, doesn't that look just like the thing from Empire? Let me show you. Get it back here again. I mean, that looks like the dueling place in Cloud City.
Kind of looks like the Batcave, but like really like he extended it.
Yeah, but this is just absolutely horrible, and I am really kind of annoyed at myself for buying it because I normally like the outsider books, but
yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I like Kate Kane as a character when she's written well, but she has been written well since Rebirth. Rebirth it was the last time she was written well.
And from what I understand, that she's out of Gotham now because she doesn't want to deal with, I guess, the effects of the Gotham War.
I like her even more now.
Well, yeah, true.
I don't want to deal with it either.
Means that she's smart, but they are also she was sitting there saying that every week, what is it? Every week there's a new thing where we have to team up and fight bad guys or something like that. So this guy's like making comment. It sounds like she's giving a hard time with the amount of events that DC is doing. So,
but didn't they kind of do that to where Kate and Jace are, besties and smarter than everybody, and weren't they like impressing each other and then high-fiving and shit?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
it's again. Yeah, it sounds to me like the virtue signaling is hard with this one.
Very hard.
That's
unlike Jace.
Again, it's DC.
The virtue signaling is hard with this one.
It's you can't. I mean, I said just for every step forward, it's 2 or 3 steps back. That DC's never going to change.
Yep.
And that's I guess.
Like I said, I'm dropping a lot of DC books. Ram V. I like it. I like him as a writer, but I feel like he's just dragging out the story too damn long. And the art on this issue for Detective Comics came out this week looked like as horrendous Kelly Jones art. What is even Kelly Jones?
Hey, by the way, did you see what was going on the same time as your top 5 Tuesday night?
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw what was going on. Nothing much.
No, not that. No, did you see who was doing an interview?
No,
Jeremy Adams. He did an interview on Lost in Comics, who is a small channel. So I said, I think if you reached out to him, he would come on. And that's why I, at the last minute, decided to get Green Lantern, because I said DC sucks long and hard, but he is such a good guy that it's hard not to want to support him.
Yeah, and Green Lantern, I am not a big fan of Green Lantern, but I've been buying these books. They are very good.
Yeah, they
very
are.
good.
And I'll tell you what, that Magnifico or whatever the frick his one name is, Zantifico or Aqualadio, whatever the fuck. He's good, and he gets better with every issue. I mean, noticeably better.
Yes. Like I said, I asked earlier. I don't know if because you guys read the '90s Green Lantern. I didn't care for it as much. And maybe that's what put a sour taste in my mouth was that book, that series, because it wasn't that great.
If you maybe someday revisit that and see if you don't change your mind, because that was an excellent series. Both Hal, but more so with Kyle.
Probably with Mike, because I haven't read the Kyle ones. I know I read some of the Hal, and I just wasn't impressed by it.
I said I despise him as a person, but Ron Mars was excellent on Green Lantern.
Yeah, like I said, I've been
the
liking
90s, the fridging.
Take care, Ash. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Like I said, Jeremy Adams is one of those writers that I want to support because I want to see this guy. This is the guy who came over from writing movie scripts to writing comic books and actually prove that, hey, there actually are people out there who can actually still write better than Gail Simone.
That would be just about anybody. Wouldn't it?
What do they say? They say, don't buy, or we're going to put it to don't buy our books.
Oh, that was Carrie Sue McConaughey.
Yeah. Well, I don't buy her books. I buy Jeremy Adams books.
I never did buy her stuff. And then she complains about stuff not selling.
Kelly Sue DeConnick had one good series that I can think of. Before she became, Kelly Sue don't buy my books, whatever. She did a Sif series in Journey into Mystery that was good.
Yeah.
But a lot of people at Marvel did their best work at that particular time because they had to.
There's no Disney money.
Well, that, and there was there's still, I guess, somewhat of a meritocracy, and there were so many good books. Yep. You didn't want to stand out for sucking.
And it's kind of funny, the guy who's putting on our Comic-Cons up here, he mentioned two people that he wanted to bring up. One, which I'd love, which would be, oh my God, Criminal.
Hold that second.
Ed Brubaker.
Hold that thought. Because here is the biggest oh my God I've ever seen.
What?
Wow. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. And
who's worn this? I've worn this on camera before. This is not new.
Who's wearing their hat better? Zach or Geeky?
Well,
I'll give it to Zach.
Zach looks like a Gilligan reject.
Zach, how is it that you time it every week till we're talking about things that which suck, and you appear?
What are you talking about?
We were just talking about things that sucked, and then you came on.
Well, yeah, but what was the thing that sucked? Narrow it down.
Don't buy my. If you don't like my books, don't buy my books.
Oh, what's her name?
Buy my books.
What's her name? Yeah.
Also, Evil Kike, you're saying the Johns era. If you mean New 52, where
no, that's not the Jeff Johns era.
Oh, okay.
That's Jeff Johns' Green Lantern was before Flashpoint.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll just say that the one where Kyle or what's the name, Carol Cuck's Hal was the worst book I've written, and I still say it's worse than Teenie Howard's Catwoman.
When was that? Because
it's late New 52.
Late in it.
Yeah.
Okay, because some of the series started falling apart, but Venditti had a good run on that.
I think Venditti was on the book though. That's the thing. It might have been Venditti. It was like towards the middle. Or
Venditti wrote Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. But it was one title. It was
when they did New 52. They basically said that they want to basically shake everything up except for Batman and Green Lantern because those were still doing well. They basically left those two properties alone.
It's like the Bill Murray and the Jacques Cousteau movie, whatever that was.
do that on purpose, Zach?
Maranya said I needed my glasses.
Yeah, okay.
so
I was wondering if you did that on purpose. If you,
I did it on
commented
request.
purpose.
No, but as we look at is black black.
Oh, by the way, Zach, did you see where Burrow may be out for the year and the Bengals are getting boat raced?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're not gonna talk
hope
about
that-
that.
I
We're
hope
here
they
to talk
both
about
come.
good things.
Go Steelers. I hope they
Hey,
both do.
hey, like I said, that hurts me more than it hurts you.
It hurt. Listen, we adopted the guy. Like we changed the way he spells his last name.
We have, we are like the Bengal fans are like Charlie Brown. Football is Lucy and the football. And once again, Lucy yanked the fucking football away from us.
All right.
Yeah, I could go off on that.
All right. Yeah. On a different live stream. Easy. Continue your books.
Yeah, and the second person was Kelly Sue McConaughey, and he was talking about bringing her up, and I was like, it'll be great if you bring up, Brubaker. I'd love for that. And I didn't say a damn thing about the Kelly Sue McConaughey, but I was like, no.
No,
Okay.
Kelly Sue McConaughey maybe, but DeConnick, no.
I would ask
Whatever.
Kelly, what's it like?
I don't know
to
who
have
McConaughey is, but it's got to be better than the other one.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I ever met Kelly, I want to ask her, what's it like to write books that nobody reads?
I might do that, but I don't want to get kicked out. But okay, so number 9, Dutch. Didn't realize that this guy was in fact some of the old 90s stuff, and it was not that great of a story, and the art sucked.
The movie is better. Dutch?
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Right?
Ed O'Neill.
Yeah, sorry. Wow, I'm really on top of things today. 7.
So Zach.
Yeah, but that's on top of different things, But he's on. Oh, never mind. I won't go there. And then speaking of detective, not bad, not great.
Art. What do you think about the art? I saw the art and I was just like, it's just. I'm sorry, Kelly Jones, and it's not even Kelly Jones. It's someone trying to be Kelly Jones.
How does somebody like Gil Kane but not Kelly Jones? That's what I want to know.
Because Gil Kane has talents.
Yeah, because Gil Kane has talent. Kelly Jones is so stylized, and you can say the same thing about Kane, but I don't think there's any middle ground with Kelly Jones. I hate him.
Oh, Kelly, it's dude. When you go from Mean Gene Colan and Kelly Jones, to Kelly Jones, it's like
stepping on Geeky's. My apologies.
No. It's not. But is that supposed? That's supposed to be Catwoman right there.
Yeah.
And Talia al Ghul.
Show where they show Batman with the when he's in the chains and he's in the dungeon part, and just how it just looks. Bleh.
Black Cat, I will give you that. Actually, didn't mind his art in Red.
Yeah, his well, your go back gives you go back because you moved it too quick. You didn't get to see all of it. Look, a little closer to the camera, again. Look at his. Hold it right there. Look, if you look at his face, everything, it's like what the heck? He got like he got his head trapped in a vice.
And then there's this.
Yeah,
it doesn't look bad at all.
I am not
I
am not a fan of the long-eared Batman.
I don't mind it, to be honest. I kind of dig it.
That guy does a better Kelly Jones than Kelly Jones.
I know, right? But here's the thing about the long-eared Batman. He better not be getting that freaking Batmobile because there's no way he's closing that hood.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that in one movie? Or maybe it was the making of it. They were having a problem with it, so they had to.
It's probably a Michael Keaton movie. It
was the original one. I think they had to. Okay, then we have Blade, and the only reason this is so low is that I still haven't read the last issue.
Oh.
So I'm trying to find the last issue to read it, and then I can read this. I'm sure it'll be higher. But I just haven't read it yet, so I can't sit here. And...
if you're a fan of the original, not original, but I mean as far as Wesley Snipes blade.
Yes.
And Brian Hill, in general writing, you're gonna like it. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of blade, I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on a $60 blade account.
Oh,
If I could
the
get
so the Omnibus.
yeah, I need to get a job first, and then I'll do it. But I want it so bad. Okay. Then
Ask Joe for Christmas.
Wildcats number 12. This is my sixth.
I did put a ticket in it, make it Galen.
What's that? Oh yeah. It's not that bad. I mean, they keep like changing up all the team members and the way like the Fairchild. And when it first started out, she was like a college age student who's really tall and athletic. Now she's a kid who has sort of like what Monster Girl does and gets bigger and stuff. So it's just like, okay, whatever. It's just, yeah.
What's this now?
Wildstorm.
Oh, good lord!
Wildcats, yeah.
Wildcats number 12.
Okay, so basically, I'm guessing the wokes desexualize the Gen 13 characters.
No, she's the only one that's in there. And you can see what they did with. I'm
shocked it's not a grifter book because they are grifting you.
No, Grifter is in there. He's the main. But look what they did with Zealot. They cut her hair and gave her a kind of a lesbian haircut. And
she looks like the lady from Plot Holes.
And then they changed her outfit.
Of course.
And yeah. Number 5.
Angela Evangeline from the one that's supposed to be Thor's sister had kept her original outfit in the 90s.
Okay, now we're actually into some of the good stuff.
Some of the good stuff. Ooh, concerned.
Wow. Batman and Robin, number 3. Turn that stupid thing off. Batman and Robin, number 3.
Floating heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens in space, by the way. That was actually really good.
I've never been in space before.
No, I mean, neither have I. At least not, in reality. But this is a really good book.
Yeah, you have the same problem I have. That's why when I show on my camera, I'll keep them out of the bag.
Yeah, I don't know why I put them in a bag beforehand, but
to preserve the bad ones for later.
Okay, then this is number 4.
I'm sorry, Zach. Are we boring you?
No, I'm answering a text. I'm sorry.
Oh, rude.
It's a long text.
A Haunted Girl.
Oh, zombie deer.
Looks like a deer. That's not a girl.
It's a trained Busan. Busan, yeah, kind of deer.
This is it's Ethan and Naomi Sachs. It's a father and daughter writing team. I guess something happened to the girl in real life, Naomi. And so they're kind of incorporating it into the story. They were writing it together as a catharsis. And it's
Ethan Sachs wrote a lot of the Old Man Logan spinoffs, like Old Man Hawkeye and Old Man Star-Lord.
He's just a great old man, okay?
Some of us might actually think that you have something against old people.
No, not at all. I love that. I loved Old Man Logan. Hawkeye was good. Star-Lord started to deviate a little bit.
But so it's pretty good. It's a kind of a supernatural thing. And
I'm just going out like Logan's Run. By the time you're 25, you're gone.
No, I thought it was 30. Yeah, it's 30.
It doesn't help me. I'm past that.
We're all past that. We're all dead anyway.
I don't even think I can remember 30. And then we have, I don't know why.
Not much has changed. You're still a slave to the grind.
Yes. Then we have, this is number 3. Green Lantern.
Nice. You got the Diodato cover.
Yes.
Sweet.
And
he looks very
Pissed.
It looks like Huey Campbell from The Boys. The
Yes.
actor.
It's a good book. I don't know why I got this cover, but everything you said, RDV. Yeah.
It's getting better. I mean, when I first read it, I wasn't impressed because of the fact that I'm not a Green Lantern fan. But the more I read it, the realize, wow, he can take a character I really don't care for and actually make me appreciate the character more.
And it's actually kind of makes sense. You know, Sinestro, what he was doing made sense. He wasn't doing it just to be evil.
That switch. That's
yes, and also
you're expecting something, and nope, that's not what you get. Yeah. And I said the art is
planned. You think that was planned? What he did? The switch at the end.
No, I think a lot of people assume they wanted to get this Dexter in there, but it's not Dexter. And Dexter is one of the most beloved characters you can. And so
I wouldn't say one of the most beloved characters. Maybe of animal characters, maybe.
Of all Red Lanterns?
Of all Red Lantern, okay, of all Red Lanterns, yeah. But you said of all characters. I was like, I'm pretty sure Superman, Flash.
No, but I mean, like, when I mean all characters, I mean, like, if you're gonna have a villain show up in a book, Sinestro is okay, but I mean, you bring in that freaking cat Dexter. I want him going against the Green Lantern squirrel Chip.
I think he's still dead. No, Chip is dead.
I don't care, but I want a Chip versus Dexter in an ongoing series. It's like Itchy and Scratchy.
Ren and Stimpy. Okay, then
no, that's we call that the top 5, Ren and Stimpy. Zach, you idiot!
You idiot. Okay, number 2, and I don't know if this was based on a game or something. That sort of got the
couldn't tell you unless they show me the book.
Yeah, something I saw some people talking about a little later, but the Ministry of Compliance.
No, that's a government game.
Yes, it is. But
we're all playing that game.
It's $5.99, but it's like super thick, and
that's what she said.
Yes, that's what she said.
That's not to you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say about the other person, but there's only about like 4 pages of
ads. Wait, it's a thick book with only 4 pages?
No, 4 pages of ads at the end.
Oh, that would suck. You put they're like
thick pages. really, really, really thick pages. But it's like a double-sized book. But, and there's only like 2 or 3 pages at the end where there's advertisements. What you have is this lady right here. She is there's some government on a different planet. They're like it's kind of like this oppressive Orwellian type of government type thing. And they have this empire, but some of them are on Earth and they're prepping it for taking over.
Oh, they're the Viltrumites.
Yes, sort of. And they look human, but people don't realize that they're here. And they have these departments, like the departments of compliance, department of finance, departments. Yeah. And if someone is stepping out of line, she is the person who will go and make them compliant, which is basically cutting their head off or whatever.
She's kind of like Danny Trejo on The Flash. Shows up, they police the.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but
you're probably better off.
But then turns out that the government or the emperor or prime minister was removed by the shadow government, and so they're all stuck. It's really kind of weird. You'd think that there's with all the stuff going on in
sci-fi dystopian world.
Yes.
Imagine them as being the peacekeepers from Farscape.
Yes, which is I love the Farscape is the second best science fiction program ever, by the way. Thank you very much.
For Agar's pages so thick that even Elizabeth was like, damn.
Oh. that was pretty funny.
Pages so thick even Lizzo was like, damn. But Babylon 5, number 1, Farscape, number 2. And I've met I've met Zan. Okay, and then my number one, and I'm surprised nobody has talked about this yet, but of course it was only used so far.
Real quick, I'll just say that on the topic of White Lantern, Bendis had the right idea. White Lanterns, the ring that Batman had, it was defective, and that's why there should never be any White Lanterns.
Well, I mean, if you're
Bendis didn't write the White Lanterns, though. Johns did.
If you're a White Lantern, you're a racist. By the way, thank you very much.
It was Bendis wrote a Batman story where he finds the ring, and it's the first Lantern ring. It was a White Lantern costume, and it was glitching. It's actually really good. I forget what it's called though.
Okay, but you should read Brightest Day. It comes after Blackest Night, and that's where the White Lantern.
Of course.
Yeah.
You don't like Blackest Night, Zach?
I love Black.
We're not gonna ask which one you like better.
Hey,
you guys know I have been on this channel saying Blackest Night is the best zombie story of all comics.
That's because you think Blackest Nights matter, right?
Do you know what it sounds? He says that, but it comes out. Some of my best friends are
White Lanterns. White Lamp power.
Are they the most powerful, Zach?
No. Everyone knows Kyle Rayner is when he became like Space Jesus, and he was like the All Lantern.
Is that anything like a? Are you gonna get a? Is that the sequel to Personal Jesus as Space Jesus?
It's like
Depeche,
for those who
Depeche Mode sing about that.
For those of us who watched Power Rangers back in the first season, and then when like the Green Ranger becomes a White Lantern, like a lot of us are like, oh, this is kind of bad. And Zach's like, sweet, like White Ranger.
there's this thing online. It shows like they're coming out, and each one is holding up. They pull out their little things that they use, and it's like black power, red power. You see the white one because white it cuts off.
That was South Park, yeah.
Then that was live action, but okay. And then number one, The Deviant.
Ooh, James Tynion.
Yes, I bought this on just an impulse. I knew nothing about it. It's a horror.
Is that bad?
No. It's kind of a Christmas horror, which you don't see much. And one of the fun things not fun. One of the interesting things about this is, do you know what they call cigarettes in Australia?
Well, I know what they call them in Britain. I can't say that we're on this channel.
Yes, same thing.
It should be the same thing. Yeah,
it is. It is the same thing. Or like when you want them to throw something on the fire to get the fire going, same thing. That word is used multiple times in this book, but it has nothing to do with smoking. Well, someone is smoking, but it has nothing to do with stoking the fire.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what page is the first gay character introduced?
In the opening credits.
No, a few pages in, but actually both the main characters are gay, but one of them is the killer. So there's a reporter interviewing the killer, and they're both
gay.
Yes.
What are the odds?
You slay queen. I already did.
Yeah, and the guy who is the bad guy keeps using the word. And
I'm shocked that the bad guy isn't basically a heterosexual.
No, he uses the word a lot, and he also refers to himself as a tired old queen a lot.
Magneto has built more ships out of wood than James Tynion's written books without a gay character.
Zach, I was thinking, if you get a blue hat, just wear that all the time. Start calling you Mike Nesmith.
Who?
What?
Yeah, you don't think he looks like him a little bit?
No, I was reacting to Zach saying who.
Oh, okay.
Do you seriously not know who Mike Nesmith is?
No, it's not ringing a bell.
He talks about monkeys all the time.
The monkeys.
Oh, the monkey.
He's the only one that invented whiteout. I'm sure you knew that.
His mom invented whiteout.
I wasn't implying that, but I mean that's awesome that you pulled it up. Instead of Pikachu hat, it's a depressing Pikachu.
It's a really good book. I mean, it was just really well written.
it's the first time he popped up on Twitter, like in those social feeds. It's like, hey, I just put a book out. And it's like, where have you been since Batman? I haven't seen you on social media at all. You just randomly. He went to
Substack and stuff like that.
I was just saying.
Yeah, he's at a Substack. Yeah.
Well, he's writing the Dracula adaptation for the Universal Monsters series.
I'm just implying that the fact that he went to Substack and hasn't been seen on most social media, he must be hurting for money if he had to go to social media, as far as Twitter and Instagram, to reach out, because he normally doesn't talk on there.
Maybe he realizes that you can actually reach some people that might have wondered what the hell happened to him.
Yep.
Again, I mean, I kid.
Or maybe he realizes that he'll get, he'll become more that what was I trying to say? Maybe he realized what Mark Miller said, and that most of his fan base isn't on Twitter, so maybe he just stay off of it, keep his head down, and work.
No, I mean, I can't. I mean, I said he every book he writes is, like I said, it's the main character's gay. It's just who he is.
Yeah,
but
he's only half gay, isn't he?
What's that? I think he's actually married to a woman, but
yeah, like he's half gay.
Well, yeah, well, I guess he's current comic book industry gay.
I mean,
maybe they told him to say he's gay, like they said to that one woman, like, "Oh, just say you're a lesbian." Yeah, that's what everyone thinks anyway. What's her name? Valerie. She's on Twitter. She has all the hot takes.
Or Cazo
or Atazio. Yeah, she's got all the cool takes.
Otario Cazo, AOC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not no.
but
that is true. If you say AOC 5 times, either Action Comic shows up or we get it's a gamble.
If we can get the AOC parody account, that'd be worth it, because
the parody account would be worth it. Yeah.
And did you whatever happened to little AOC?
She's in a camp probably now.
But she got the old regime kicked her off of Twitter. Elon brought her back, but I don't know if it's I don't think that's the parody account that's on there now. I just
saw they just passed some internet rule or law. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well,
but
if that's legit and if that happens, it's over for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally we will have the Ministry of Truth everywhere.
If that happens, tune in live to Geeky Puppet Show. We'll be on the ham radio.
It'll be sort of like when they show Blazing Saddles on regular TV from 701 to 704. That'll be our thing here,
Oh my gosh!
I can promise you, if this happens, PragerU's gone, Crowder's gone, Tim Pool's gone, all of them are gone.
Can you imagine if we went back to ham radio? You want a freaking podcast with us where we tell you about this?
Was always on ham radio, and he was awesome, by the way. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Art Bell.
Yeah.
I used to be on the string with the 2 cans radio.
That was Eric and I. We used to use those in real life. But
that's not true. Eric used smoke signals before they invented aluminum.
I caught the tail end of that. But so I have 2 more books. Those are the last of my floppies, and I saw this there.
Ooh. Bloody Choices Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then Tom DeFalco and John Buscema. So nice.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I gotta pick it up, and it was only $6. So it's
an early 90s trade.
Yes. I think it was like 91, 92. And
I just love the way they do those trades back in the day, the soft cover trades.
Yeah, and it was just look at the
teach on the back. I love that format though. You get the picture from the book, and then you have the description in the back right there.
And this was actually a $13 book, and it was they had it on here for like $6. It was a great book. And then I found one that I had originally. I think it was the first graphic novel I ever bought, if I can remember correctly. And then I lost it. And then I saw it again.
Oh, nice.
God Loves Man Kills.
Yes.
That's a good one.
And you guys have read that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this thing would have gotten, if this were this wouldn't have been published today,
Nope.
just because of this one part right here. If you look at
Yep.
where Ariel, as they call her in that one, was talking to her teacher.
Was she still going? She was still Ariel in that?
Yes,
I thought she
yes.
had become Shadowcat.
No,
Okay.
this is pre-Shadowcat. What
Okay.
she said to the teacher in that panel right there would have gotten the whole. It never would have happened. That book would have been canceled if they would have made.
Oh, they canceled Chris Claremont 30 years later because of when the
Yeah.
SJWs learned about it.
One of them finally went back and read one of them.
Because she said, I don't know if she was
Well, no context because she was you're calling me a mutie is equivalent to calling me the N-word.
and she said oh, she's just do that because how you feel if they called you a lover, and she actually used the word, and I was just sitting there going, oh, I forgot that was in there.
I mean, you can't see your oppressed and then go oppress somebody else by calling them a derogatory name.
It wasn't when they republished it.
Yeah,
they took it out.
Yeah.
But see, what a lot of people are saying is, they're missing the point of what she was saying.
Okay, all right. Let me put it this way: no one's allowed to show Blazing Saddles. Anybody that's watched that knows that the black guy was smarter than all the white idiots. That was the point.
He was white and smarter than every white guy.
And that was the point of it. It was satire, and it was smart. And it was making fun of the stereotypes, but SJWs don't understand context or nuance because they don't have to, because they've never learned either of them.
Yes. Yeah, and it's just the fact that they actually had why can't I remember his name? One of the funniest comedians of all time, Richard Pryor, helping writing the dialogue for the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He wrote all the white people in the movie, and he's just the fact that if he had no problem with it, if Cleveland Little had no problem with it, why should anyone else?
Well, that's just it. It's why are the Redskins the Commanders? Because white progressives had a problem with it and had a virtue signal on behalf of a group of people who overwhelmingly supported the name.
And there's still some people out there who are trying to sue to get them to change it back, because that person on the helmet is a real person, and he's very revered among the Native Americans.
Yeah, but anyway, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Anything else?
No, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I need to.
All right, since Eric's already on the screen right there, he can't run and hide.
Oh boy!
At our age, it's hard to run anyway.
Oh, and right now I can't. I can barely walk across the room without sucking wind. So, got this a week later as usual.
Okay.
I really like this.
I told you it. I don't know what it is, but it's getting better and better.
The art's getting better, and I looked on the back cover and saw, oh yeah, I still didn't check to see if we ever got Red Light in.
But
number 4.
But my question is, though, you read the other one, Torrent.
Yeah.
So we kind of going in this, you kind of knew it, like, okay, this seems similar.
Yeah, Torrent was a better story. This has better art by a mile. But anyway, so number 4, Green Lantern. I said I said I wasn't going to buy any more in continuity DC, but Jeremy Adams he's a good kid, and I want to support what he does. I'll probably keep buying the Jay Garrick Flash because of that. We already talked about that. So as we already talked about, number 3, Geiger, Ground Zero.
See, I didn't have that cover in my shop. I was like, dang it.
Well, you'd already said you wanted the Marvel one, or did you not get that one either?
I got the Marvel one. That's all that's left.
Yeah,
but so I like the Go-Go checks.
That it too. I said, I'm sure wherever he is, Rod probably too. And Junkyard Joe coffee mug.
Just give me Go-Go checks and the Marvel variant.
Number 2. I gotta disagree, and I was the one that had the biggest problem with the first series. I think I'm coming to the conclusion that that's kind of how Rocketeer stories go. That because I admit I've never read a lot of the old stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing that's a staple of Rocketeer stories, that he kind of just fumbles through those.
Yeah, he's
But-
always been kind of a bumbling idiot. Even in the
But
movie,
listen,
he was.
The chick from the first series, minimal participation. This
Very
was a total
minimal.
team effort. Betty helps out. And, hey, if you want to put her in a Nazi outfit with the unbuttoned salute. I want the bonus issue with the long drawn out cat fight between her and that Nazi chick.
She kind of reminds of a Mary Jane type almost
But-
in a sense, which I'm kind of liking more.
And Peavy rigging the things that the Nazis
yeah.
forced him to build to detonate. So the total team effort. And so this, and again, good
but
art. I mean, this was worth the price of admission.
I liked it when they went to New York City.
I can't do it right now.
I know.
But yeah, so I said this was my number 2, and mainly because I said I'm kind of new to the Geiger verse. So I mean, either way, I can't lose. Good indies this week. If my indie brother Ash were still here, number 1, no surprise. I mean, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. This thing is terrific, and I haven't read half of Mark Millar's stuff. It didn't matter.
Yeah, you need to.
It was just fun. It's a fun read, and there was that. I mean, you don't get a lot of holy shit moments that you have to retract almost immediately, but you know what I'm talking about.
The hit girl when
Yes, it's
Yes.
like, oh my god, and the way they did, it's like that is awesome. I mean, that is the best. And after, but my second favorite part about this, and probably my second favorite part of the series, after 8+ issues of Nemesis just cutting through everybody, he just gets his ass kicked unceremoniously like he was an extra in the series. It's like, that was fucking awesome. It's like, I haven't always been a fan of this guy. I am now, and I'm guessing probably always will be, because this guy is terrific. And this series was just a blast and a half.
The whole thing with the magic order, that can't get involved. He's technically.
Really? Oh, okay. What do you say? Yeah, let's do it.
I love that.
Yeah, this was a great time. And also like the honorable mention to Shudder.
Nice.
I actually had time to read this. So I said this, and did you look through this?
No, I haven't. That's the
When
Warren.
did that come out?
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me if you recognize where are they?
These boobs.
No, I said look at the panel. Look in between the girl and the guy with the beard.
Oh my gosh. It's Trusty Sidekick.
And
Wow.
and it's not just Trusty.
That looked like Owen Wilson.
It was Owen Wilson.
Our buddy Trusty Sidekick does a flawless Owen Wilson, and even has the mannerisms down.
Go look at our Daredevil versus Spider-Man.
Do you reckon top at the finger pointing?
David Schwimmer.
But as I said, it's
Nah, it looks like Brendan Fraser.
It's Brendan Fraser.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Young Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
Yeah. And just a couple things. Like I said, I finally got to get some work done today. Yeah, I wish I could afford this, but there's Spider-Man 301.
Wow.
300's at the store. So, but there's $2.99.
First, first appearance of Venom.
Yep, last panel.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not been the best. Well, there's
sorry,
the Farland run is in there, but
Venom. Is it what's his name? Venom Schmertz.
I was just gonna say, who is that random platypus on the bottom?
And for those who are wondering,
you're supposed to take your glasses off, Zach. It's Barry the platypus.
This is a capybara, the world's largest rodent.
Is that
I do have a Perry the Platypus hat somewhere though. Next time I'm gonna wear it just for you, Breen.
Zach, isn't that the ones they keep finding in New York? They think are rats.
No. These things are huge. They live in South America.
I saw something like that, and like they were putting out a sewer drain.
Nah, you can't put them down a sewer. They're
It was like
way
the size
too
of a
big.
dog.
Do you mind putting someone not sick as a dog in the big picture?
Speaking of
I was
dogs.
trying not to put this guy up on the screen because I'm just gonna laugh the whole entire time.
There you go.
Why? Why are you gonna laugh? Are you saying do you not
Okay.
like common America?
Now you're making.
Oh, I thought you were going to take a bite out of crime.
Instead of people showing someone who's sick as a dog, now he's making everybody sick as a dog.
If we could just pull the hat further down, all the way
Farther,
down,
farther.
just to cover your
It doesn't
face.
stretch. It doesn't stretch like that.
Stupid hat.
What's wrong with my face? This is my normal. This is the same face that's been on here for 3 years. Okay. I did.
You first figuring out that we have a complaint with it.
Oh, by the way, before you get
Oh,
started,
sorry.
I got Vegman, did you get any farther than episode 8?
Yeah. Oh wait, no 8. No, there only is only episode 8.
No, there's 10. I watched them all.
Whatever
Of what?
came out about. You think about the new
Bosh.
Bosch, yeah.
Oh, Bosch. Oh, Bosch has a new season.
Did you get your suspicions answered one way or another yet?
He said the last one I watched is Honey Chandler gets arrested to get a handcuff, or not arrested, but the FBI goes after and pulls her in. That's the last
Is
one.
this
I watched.
I think it's like 7 or 8. Then
Yeah, 8. Yeah, I didn't. If 9 and 10 are out, I haven't watched it yet.
So you talking about Boss Legacy?
yeah,
Yeah, at least season 2.
and you know who the cameo is in the last episode.
Oh yeah, I definitely know who the last. It's Michael Anthony Hall.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, he just got big and fat.
His he's like 50 something, like 52, 56, and his wife is like 32. Just had a baby.
Salute.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, we're sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt with quality television.
Am I interrupting the Bosch fan club over here?
Well, wait a second. Let's steer it back to Zach. Hey, has anybody seen NCIS Sydney yet?
I'm working on it.
I
just
taped it, I
finished.
just haven't watched
I
it
just
yet.
finished season 15 of regular NCIS.
Of course you have.
Oi, me boy, get to the shit already.
All right, now I didn't read all of my books. There's not enough time in the day, so there are a few of these I have not read yet. One I just managed to read really quickly before going out to Bible study tonight. So the 2 I have not read. I did not get to read the new Detective Comics yet, although I did skim through and look at the art. I like it. I think Vinkman's high. I think the art is great. And then I
think
also
you're high.
maybe you see how I'm dressed. I might be.
This is
See, I
This
mentioned.
is
I
the
told
one-
you he was getting the other cover. I told you he was.
This
getting
is
the
the
cover.
one that the
I told
LCS. This is the one the LCS put in my pull box for me.
Yeah, because they know you.
Maybe.
Sorry, I couldn't help that. I'm sorry, man.
It's a clever. I don't liked it.
you.
I did get to read this one before I left for Bible study tonight. Vigil. This is issue number 6. This is the final issue. It's really cool. It really plays out almost like a Guy Ritchie film, where like stuff happens and then it looks like the heroes are done, but then it's like flashback and shows actually this is what really this is how the plan went. It's really, really cool. I love the way this worked out. Ram B, I think I might like this better than Detective Comics. It's just a really interesting super spy story. Really, really cool. I can't wait to read more of these guys.
Guy Ritchie's other guy's got a hot wife that's younger than him.
He does. When he writes I won't say he writes all of his movies well.
I mean,
There's
at
some
least
stinkers
at
that
least it's
he
not
does.
like Roman Polanski, who's been 90 years old, having a 50.
We're not going to talk about that guy. We got issue 2 of Wesley Dodd's Sandman. This is another really cool book that DC has putting out. This is Robert Venditti, Riley Rossman on art. The art, I mean, for this is just as good as the last issue. This is where Sandman realizes that somebody stole his gas, his old gas recipes and is using them. So he does like some old school detective work, tracks down one of the thugs that helped break into his house, and then he beats up a bunch of thugs. There's this one guy, he like shoves like one of his gas guns into his mouth and just like really just like almost ODs the guy. Of course, the guy is already ODing on like berserker meds anyway. So this is really, really good, really well written. The love interest, Deanne, also is a really crucial part of the story. Like she helps him, supports him in what he does. Really, really good.
Diane Belmont, right?
Diane Belmont, yes.
Yeah, she's from the golden age.
Social heiress, yeah. Was kind of hoping that we'd see Rex Tyler come back, but not yet. Maybe. There's also a really grisly scene in there where he's like remembering his days from World War I and like the gas warfare, the chemical warfare that happened. It's really, really grisly. Like even for like you wouldn't think Rosmo would do something like grisly and horrific. He actually did pretty good there. All right.
I've seen this Harley Quinn series. It was grisly and horrific.
It was grisly and horrific.
Probably
Probably
horrific is what draw a hat out like that on somebody. That'd be pretty grisly and horrific.
grisly and horrific is what I'm gonna get for showing this next book. Fantastic Four, number 13.
Oh my god.
Doom on a dinosaur.
Now I can't get the image of Zach having like no hair. He's just kind of like Ingleton there. You see the bald.
I don't like that at all. There's hair under. This makes me look more hipster, more like a New York hipster. I don't know how.
Where's your flannel?
That's better. It's in the washer. It's in the washer tonight. This is a fun little ending to the second part, to the 2-part story. The Thing and his Dino counterpart fight against Doom and his Dino counterpart. It's a lot of fun. Doom actually outsmarts both. The Thing actually outsmarts both of the Dooms because they're trying to merge two worlds together. And so the Thing's like, well, who's going to rule it? Like, which one of you Dooms is going to be the supreme ruler? And both Dooms are like, ha, you're not going to get us that way. We're on the same page. We're one. And then they backstab each other because they're both Doom. So
what is Pedro Pascal doing?
What are you talking about? There is no Pedro. We're not talking about that nasty rumor. It's a rumor. I refuse to give Bounty into comics and all those guys.
I don't know what's worth Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards or that book.
This book is a blast. You can say whatever you want to. You don't like Kelly Jones' art.
A lot of people don't like Kelly Jones' art.
You and Breen are the only ones that I know of. All right. We got Ground Zero here from Geiger. They gave me the freaking go-go checks. They didn't give me the Marvel one. My LCS failed me twice this week. Actually, no, they failed me. They failed me 3 times this week because they sold out of G.I. Joes.
3 times is better than the 3 years you've been failing us, brother.
I'm just saying, they failed you 3 times. You better call Stephen Amell.
I don't get that one. Is that one from his wrestling days?
Arrow.
Arrow.
City.
Well, okay. Okay. I didn't remember a number 3. I was trying to think of how 3 played into it. This was good. I was kind of concerned that this was just going to be a reprinting of the first issue. It's not. Thank goodness. It's really cool. I lost count of all the little Junkyard Joe cameos and Easter eggs he scattered in here. I thought that was pretty cool. I also like that he gave some more characterization to like that couple that tried to break into his bunker at the beginning of the first issue. He kind of like fleshed them out a little bit more. But yeah, I am in love with what Jeff Johns is doing here with the unnamed universe. So that book was my number 3. My number 2 is Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern. This was a blast. I mean, this is probably one of his better issues to date. Not only do you have Hal Jordan just like using his power and his ring in these really cool ways, but then that final reveal at the end, that last page was just dynamite. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I love it when they actually give that ring. I guess, I mean, we talked about Dexter and it says red. So I'm sorry, guys. He has a Red Lantern ring. Sorry if that spoils it for somebody. But I like it when they give the Red Lantern ring to these other characters. Like when they gave it to Guy, I thought it was like really cool for Guy. And that actually fit because Guy is like a more angry kind of guy. And then I liked it when they gave one to Supergirl because it kind of set her apart from Superman a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes with Sinestro.
He can this with one ring as it is, this Chan turned into another ring. Kind of reminds of Kyle Rayner.
Kind of, yeah, because Kyle kind of was like he could focus on any of them. He could do all of them. Yeah.
Seeing that, I'm just gonna say emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Yeah. So yeah. Green Lantern, awesome book. Well done, Jeremy Adams. Keep it up. I'm loving what he's doing. And then, I mean, surprising nobody. Number one book this week. I mean, it has to be. It's got to be this, right? I haven't read G.I. Joe yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be close. But this is going to be better. I mean, man, it's just, dude, the writing that this guy do. I mean, there were some lines in here. I mean, RDV, you did kind of predict it. I kind of thought that he was going to go this route. I'm glad he did, though. I really am. I'm going to have a lot more well-constructed thoughts for late night comics next week. But
Kick-Ass, he surprised me with that.
Kick-Ass, well, no, because I kind of predicted, or I at least hoped and wished that Kick-Ass would end up the way he did.
That was a little different when I expected for Kick-Ass, but I mean, as for everything else in there, the whole Hit Girl thing was just awesome. I was like, when you see that the whole thing, I was like, oh my gosh!
The stuff with the vampires was good. The Vampire Kids nightclub, the stuff with the ambassadors, the Magic Order, Huck. What they ended up doing with Huck was really cool. Of course, Thomas Crane. I do wish that we would get a little bit more backstory on Bobby Griffin. Apparently, because like they set her up as this important figure. I don't remember reading about her.
The scene with the Chrononauts was. I just laughed out loud.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal book. Absolutely fantastic.
Bobby Griffin, Peter Griffin's sister?
No. Not this one. But yeah, just fantastic. Pepe Larraz, and then the colorist, because Pepe Larraz tweeted about the colorist that he worked with on this one, and she does a lot of really good work too. Yeah, there are so many pages in here that would just make awesome posters. There's like that one, the one, Binkman. It's almost, I want to call it the end game shot because it's kind of like the Avengers Endgame, the 2-page spread. There's that, and then there's also like this huge battle shot, this battle picture. Those would both make just killer posters.
I just love everything with what comes with not Wesley Dodds, but the other one, Wesley. He's the main guy from Wanted.
Yeah, from Wanted.
His scene with Hit Girl was great with that.
I also like just seeing him like genuinely surprised by the forces that came from the past, like Diabolos. Just because he'd planned for everything except for this invading alien army.
So I wanted cool. It can continue as a future threat because the whole characters in the past.
I'm actually really curious to see, because up until now, all of Mark Millar's books have been like separate. You would assume they were all in their own separate universes. Now moving forward, I mean, you even see like he plants some seeds like nightclub ambassadors, and then it looks like maybe Huck has something down the road, or maybe Prodigy or like I'm very curious to see like how he moves forward writing all of these properties.
Based on what Ash had said, he said he wouldn't like the book if they did this. I'm waiting for Monday night to try to see what he's gonna.
Has he read it yet?
I don't think he has, but he's not here.
Okay, good. I didn't want to risk anything.
No. That's why I haven't really spoiled it. We said like certain things, but we didn't say exactly what and stuff.
It's fantastic. If you look, and anyone out there being like, "Oh man, I gotta read through." Anyone who thinks that. I have to read through all of Mark Millar's library of books to get. You really don't. I've only read a handful of his stories. I don't know how much RDV has read of Mark Millar's library, but I've only read like 4 or 5.
I've read Wanted. I've read the first thing of the Order, Magic Order.
Uh-huh.
We did that for
Magic Order. We've read Magic Order.
I read Empress. I think
I've read Empress. I've read the first volume of Prodigy. I've got Huck. I still haven't read Huck though. I've read some Chrononauts.
I refuse to read Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. I haven't read. I tell you what, I have not read Kingsman yet. I saw the movies, but I haven't read Kingsman. I haven't read Kick-Ass. I mean, there's several that I haven't read. It doesn't really hinder your enjoyment.
Like I said, this guy, Mark Millar, knows how to tell a good story and wrap it up. He also shows that he has respect and love for his characters. Everyone was so like, oh my God, because I love it. The whole thing. You hate Nemesis so much. So when Nemesis finally gets taken down, the whole thing, it's just, you just cheer because it's like, finally. And it's just so satisfying to see such a huge freaking it'd be like, dude, if it was like if Marvel just suddenly just decided to go anti woke. You know,
It was. I'm gonna have more details and more. I'm gonna go into more on Monday night. But it was also just like really refreshing because so many stories nowadays, like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, all these stories they focus on like characters dying and the suspense. It's also just really refreshing, like the way that this story ended, the way it wrapped up. I'm not gonna say there aren't characters that I'm not gonna say everybody lived. Because everybody did not. But, I mean, it was very, very refreshing. A very awesome universe.
You're on YouTube. Sorry.
So, yeah.
we have been for the past 3 years. Where have you been?
That's true. Look, go back far enough. You can find me wearing a full shark mask if you go back far enough. So, I am no stranger to debasing the way I look. Yeah, this was an awesome book though. I can't say enough. I think Big Game, if E ever does like the Spirit Awards, Big Game is my number one book of the year.
It's the event. I said the past
event of the year for sure.
I'd say in the past 10 years.
10 years. I gotta think of what else there was since 2013. I think Infinity came out. Infinity was. I don't know if Infinity got a strong emotional reaction out of me as this one did, though. So you might be onto something.
I mean, the last time I actually liked an event was with Kirkman, not Kirkman, but Hickman.
Yeah, well, Hickman did Infinity.
Yeah.
That's why that one's up there. This one, though, I mean, yeah, just the pacing, the storytelling, the shock factor in those earlier issues. Also, just the accessibility of the story, too. That's one thing. A lot of, like, the Marvel and DC events, a lot of them it feels like they require a lot of, like, pre-existing knowledge of what's happened in canon or in previous issues. Like, you have to have read so much and know what's going on. This one, like I said, you don't have to have read all of Miller's library to understand what's going on. You meet Prodigy, you understand instantly. Oh, the guy's a genius. You meet the Chrononauts. Oh, they're time travelers. You meet Hit Girl. Oh, she's a retired superhero that was like an assassin. So, yeah, it's really, really accessible. Yeah, definitely everybody should read it. But that's it. That's all I got. Is that all? Yeah, that's it. No trades or hardcovers or anything for me. Not this week. And then, yeah, there were no G.I. Joes at my shop. I went in, so I didn't get to my LCS until like 30 minutes before they closed. And I talked to the guy. I was like, hey, do you have any G.I. Joes left? He's like, dude, we sold out. So there's 2 comic shops in Baton Rouge. One of them did not order any G.I. Joes. And so everybody went to the other one, which is the one I have the pull list at. And they bought out all the G.I. Joes, variants, everything.
Which were you looking for?
What are you talking about? I was looking for 301, the new one, not the reprinting. I mean, I guess if I come across the reprint,
this one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, with Chris Mooneyham.
I could part ways with this one. I'm not really worried about it.
Really?
But unless it gets a retail value of like $50, $60.
I added it to my pull list, and I think the guy is going to try to get some extra copies. Is that the reprinting?
Yeah, the reprint
with the Larry Hama dialogue.
Yes, the new dialogue, everything. Nice.
How was that?
Good. It's a reprint. You get the original art trip. You
might make your screen bigger because I can't. I got better eyes than Breen, but I can't see that well.
He wants me to make it bigger, Breen. All right, so once it goes over.
That's right. I want you to make it bigger. You're still not doing it.
I know. I'm waiting.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm old. It takes a while. Original art by I think it's by Herbert Trimpe or Herb Trimp. I don't know. But like he said, like he gives a little forward in the beginning here. It tells you like that they kind of like they messed up his tongue, and he's been so pissed off since they script his dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Viagra button.
Oh, is that newsprint paper?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's one thing. Everyone talks about how expensive comics are to make. All you got to do is go back to newsprint paper. which is better anyway, because if your fingertips get sweaty or whatever, it's not going to smudge the ink or the coloring or anything.
And it has
Yeah.
a certain nice smell to it too.
It's got a nice, it's got the texture, the feel of it on the paper. Oh, I love that. I love those cross diagrams they do of the hideouts and everything.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
I mean, it's
The pit.
so great. The only ads in the back are the books you actually want to read.
Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Void Rivals.
Yep, and yeah, in the back here. Honestly,
Hey,
I
is
would,
that-
I would love if they just reprinted all of them through Skybound. I'd pick them up one at a time.
I would be. I don't know. I would kind of be. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. But,
Or give me an omnibus.
I know that Kirkman. I mean, they're reprinting the Walking Dead's. I don't know why because you can't find the Marvel GI Joes reprinted. They don't collect them in trades or anything. I think that'd be just like leaving money on the table if they didn't reprint them.
Like I said, like I just love the art in here. Everything in this. I'm tempted to read this on the channel.
Hey, Vickman, is that Harley and Ivy behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to change the subject, but I was kind of looking at the stuff back there, and I was like, wait a minute.
Silence
Sorry.
your microphone if you're going to be doing what I think you're going to be doing.
No, I can be quiet about that.
That's also one of the Joel Jones covers here. Catwoman.
Yeah.
The Catwoman one right next to it.
Yeah, they're both supposed to be black, but I printed them off on a different piece of paper. So they came out purple.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
Purple
Yeah, so-
Catwoman is the best Catwoman.
It is, yeah. Because that other one, the one up here, is supposed to be the black with the orange. But it came out
The
purple and
goggles.
yellow. It came out purple and yellow. Yellowish.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. Black Cat's better than
But-
Catwoman anyway.
But like I said, I'm willing to part with the real one.
Sweet. Well, yeah.
I
Let
do.
me know.
Like I said, these are the first two J books J books I've ever read. I've never read.
I read a handful back when they were at IDW. They did some GI Joe Transformers crossovers back then. They were okay. They weren't terrible.
Yeah,
but then I know they went super woke. That's the Marvel dress. Yeah.
It's the only one they had.
Look at the giant radioactive ants in the background. Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's a giant rod in his hand. It's a glowing rod.
Two glowing rods. Radioactivity.
It is
Does crazy
2023.
things.
He's gonna have two in his hands.
It does crazy things. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Zach usually likes having a couple of giant rods in his hand, but
I don't want to know about that, but all right. So that is it for this week for books. Unless Zach doesn't have any more.
No, that's it. That's all I had.
Ronnie, I disagree. The cutout armpits, I don't mind that at all. It was Joel Jones drew it perfectly well. And then whoever was doing the art when Ramby took over, I like the costume. You know what the worst costume is? Is the early '90s black one with the whiskers and the tail.
The worst costume is the one with all the stitches on it from Batman Returns.
You just hate Michelle Pfeiffer, you heathen.
No, just that costume. It could be anybody in that costume. But just like all the stitches, it just looks like messy and tattered.
Yeah. But
who was I'm having a brain fart though. Who was the one that did the art on the purple Catwoman costume books that we love so much?
I'm sorry. I'm getting violent and triggered. It's like, hey Breen, who's the writer? Hey Breen, who's artist?
I like that gimmick. I thought that was fun. No, but I'm seriously having a brain fart. Like, who was the artist? Who was the guy that did that? Who drew that? Was it
Why was it Archer?
No, not Archer. This is like old, like Chuck Dixon Catwoman.
Oh, Jim Ballant.
Jim Ballant. Thank you.
Wow.
I knew there was a J in there. I just had a brain fart. I couldn't remember his name for the life
You
of me.
see Jim Ballant it is a bad artist?
No, he's a great artist. That's my favorite Catwoman.
Well, yeah, I agree with you too. I mean, the '90s Catwoman is the equivalent of the 2005 Miss Marvel.
Yes.
her original
Yes.
costume, where she's
Accurate.
from back in the Silver Age when she came in. I
No,
didn't like
there-
that outfit.
the series that followed that has a shitload of awesome Adam Hughes covers and good art on the inside, on the interiors too. It wasn't as cheesecakey as Ballant, but it was better art.
I mean, you're talking about some early good art.
See-
I feel like a lot of good artists basically were kind of nerfed, you know. Especially the guys who got said just by when I say when I say nerfed, I mean by 2015, you
Ed
weren't
Bennett.
allowed to draw. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, there's and Geeky, as he pointed out, the Zealots' new costume. All the costumes are now Taliban approved at the big two because they have literally taken a hobby for boys and kicked the boys out. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. And I guess they're trying to appeal to gays don't care except for the fashion part of it, I guess. But the girls they're trying to appeal to, they're probably not going after straight girls either, but they're going after not straight girls that don't like hot women.
Yeah.
That's an odd subset and not a huge audience.
Yeah.
So I want to point out that if you like art that triggers you, and you want to stick it to the new DC overlords, join us tomorrow night. We're doing-
Boom.
yeah, yes,
Is
That
this the
can't be
Jimmy?
worse
Is that
than
the Jimmy
than the-
Palmiotti series?
yes,
Nice.
with the awesome Adam Hughes cover right here.
I like that cover. Oh yeah,
All
there
right,
you go.
Hughes.
I asked this before. Who's the face?
Oh,
It looks like what's her name? It looks like Ellie Mae Clampett.
There's a face on there.
No, you're wrong, but it actually she was still around in that era, but her-
Yeah,
Yeah, no, she was. Yeah, no, she definitely was. I just can't recall her name.
boy, you look lovely tonight.
no,
Is that her?
no, it's
Not
a
not Jude Cleaver?
massive star, much bigger star than Barbara Billingsley.
Barbara Eden.
But she did her both her names. Stan Lee would have approved of her name.
Marilyn Monroe.
No, I.
You're on the right track, but no.
No, it's crap. You said before, and I'm trying to think of a picture. I just can't remember what the name. But it is same letter for the first and last.
Double D.
Yes, it's
Doris
Doris
Day.
Day.
Doris
go.
Day. Doris
Yep.
Day. That's right. We talked
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
last
So
week, I think.
that's gonna be our first reading tomorrow. It's gonna be me, Eric, and Marania, unless Zach
Maybe.
shows up. Well,
Nah, Zach won't be here.
if Eric doesn't show up, it's just gonna be me and Marania.
I am planning to be here
And then
next Wednesday's reading.
but hopefully, Breen, you're able to make it to the second reading.
Well, no, if I can make one, I can make both. But I'm just
I'm praying that you make it, brother, because we need their Captain America.
Oh.
You know, but this time I will be doing the role of the Falcon.
Oh, that's
Trusty
racist.
will be Stoneface.
Which one is Stoneface?
Guy in the top here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Wow.
Wow.
Did you really ask me which one's Stoneface?
I did not know which one.
he's the black guy.
So quite a cool comic books coming out there.
That's
I get-
probably why Zach isn't showing up tomorrow is because of that issue.
Yeah,
No,
and
Zach is never mind.
so those are gonna be at 7:15 p.m. Central, and then the next one's gonna be at 8:15 p.m. Central. So we'll probably get done with both of them. You know, be a nice little short readings. And then if you haven't done so, go to the community tab under our channel. Go vote for what books you want us to read. I put out 2 polls so you guys can choose from what titles. And then if you don't see the title that you want us to read, click and leave a comment down below and let us know what you want us to read. Because we're trying to basically get more views on some of this stuff. Daredevil. This Sunday though, we'll be continuing our Daredevil, number 17, where it's Spidey versus Daredevil Part 2.
Is that from the Brubaker run?
No. We're going old school. We're going to Stan Lee, bro.
Ooh.
No. Yeah. Because like I said, I love me some old school Stan Lee writing, and I just love early Daredevil.
Early when he was in that, the 2 or 3 color outfit, or just
He's
not
in the
long
red.
after.
Yeah, not long after. He's in the red costume at this point. The main villain is a guy. Basically, he got all his goons to dress up as Daredevil to confuse Spidey. There's like 100 Daredevils.
Now there's just 2.
Well, I mean,
and if you can't tell apart which one is which, then you have issues.
You've got got
Matt Murdock can't.
making fun of the
Spidey's
blind guy.
Well, and also Spidey says they all look the same because he fought all of them. Now they're all Daredevil. Couldn't tell. I just Jameson's in it too as well, so it's even more awesome. And Robbie Robertson. It's just a fun series, man. There's early first crossovers between the characters before it became like, oh crap, the book's sucking. We need to throw Spider-Man in there or throw Wolverine in there. This is actually back when they actually didn't need to throw them in there, but they did it because they wanted you to introduce you to this new series or this new book to help pick up sales. Because Daredevil was after Spider-Man, I believe, and it's just kind of like those were the first time they crossed over, I believe. Well, actually, no, second time they crossed over because Daredevil had crossed over into Spider-Man's book when they had the Ringmaster hypnotize everybody. So it's just a fun series. But Maranya, you get the voice, the nephew of Falcon, the little thug. So excited for a Madam Web movie. Madam Web movie looks like shit, and
yeah, it doesn't look.
Hold on. It's not because it's all women. I could care
less
about that. It's
not at all.
It's because it's a fact that it has nothing to do with anything that's going on. It's in a Spider-Man. Basically, it's a Sonyverse without Spider-Man. Another thing, and it's basically they changed the main guy who goes around. He's
Ezekiel.
Who's going around killing spiders. I guess apparently now. They combined it with Moreland, who was the other guy who was going around killing all the Spider-Men.
The vampire guy, yeah,
the vampire guy who fade off the life of the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
And they combine him with Ezekiel Stain or whatever his name is or whatever. But it looks so dumb. The plot it looks really bad. It looks like it might be season 3 quality of Batwoman.
The costume quality. Somebody was like putting a picture of the Ezekiel character. I was like, dude, it's just a black version of Godspeed from The Flash. Like it literally looks.
Why is he in a Spider-Man costume? He never was in a Spider-Man costume.
It's like I said, I've seen better fan films.
Yeah, exactly. It does not look.
I want to go cry to Spider-Man Blue or Lotus. Yeah. It's like I said, and the whole Marvel thing, I hear it's flopping, and that should be a sign that Marvel needs to get better writers. Get the writers from Phase 1 and quit putting in book characters to try to force it, and like admit your faults. If a movie flops, it's not because we don't like it as a woman. It's because it sucked as a story. You have a track record of this, and you wonder why people don't want to show up because they might think it's going to suck because you automatically are doing the same thing over and over again with different characters, but it's the same story.
It's
really weird. It's really weird because Sony did so good with No Way Home, and then you had Morbius, Craven, and now Madam Web.
Morbius was horrible.
Morbius was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I had fun with Morbius, but it's not new. It's not No Way Home.
Morbius looks so much better than this movie. I'm sorry.
It does. And Craven. Craven too.
Oh my gosh, this movie.
The radioactive lion. Okay.
I haven't watched Craven yet, but I'm saying the trailers I've seen of it, Craven looks just as horrendous as this movie.
Craven and they both look pretty bad.
Yeah,
At this
Zach, I
point-
told him last night. I saw No Way Home finally yesterday.
Oh, did you? What'd you think?
Everything you could possibly want in one of those kind of movies,
Exactly.
and it's almost like I'm sure Marvel learned their lesson from that. They're not going to do that again because they and okay, we'll take the three characters, Ms.
Mhm.
Marvel, or I'm sorry, Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Monica in this universe, Rambo. What's the breakdown? White girl, black girl, Middle Eastern girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now take the three main characters of Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man's the only white guy in that white person in that threesome too. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Because they were fun characters and far less annoying in this version, this one than the other two, by the way, both of them. But
improved characters got rid of
all three Spider-Mans, all the villains back. And I said, doing the smart thing with them. Because I said, I always wanted to see, because in the movie that Alfred Molina was in,
Mm-hmm.
he was a good guy that went bad.
Yeah.
And now we know why. And he did a face turn, and it wasn't a ruse. He stayed a good guy for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? So here's the reason why I think it really did well. Is because they put, not because he had Alfred Molina and all those guys in there. It's because the fact that you took the original director and had him come back, Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi didn't direct this.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I thought he was involved with this.
He was the director of Doctor Strange.
Oh, we'll get
Multiverse
Doctor
of
Strange.
Madness.
But this movie, I said, it was fun. It gave fans. It was like, for people to say that it ended with Endgame, no, it had like a postscript, and this was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I wasn't opposed to seeing it. I just never gotten around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked to my friend last night who refuses to watch it, and because he hated how he didn't have a costume in the second movie and blah blah blah. I think I've convinced him to watch it. I said you won't be disappointed because
my only complaint with the movie, and you can if you really overlook this, it's fine, is the fact that they really had to nerf Stephen Strange in order for all the events to happen like this.
Yeah, and I
look past it. I'm fine.
But we don't know
how logic though.
It's is the Marvel Cinematic Universe Stephen Strange different than
it's way different than the comic book series. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's why it would happen.
And it also, like I said, if a movie's good, you're willing to overlook things. Like I said, if Doctor Strange said Scooby-Doo that shit in Shang-Chi, you're like, what the fuck is this? But it was in a fun movie, in a fun scene. And when Zendaya lectures him for a second, he goes, "You're right. Please, Scooby-Doo that shit." I was fine with it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like the whole thing where like they're talking about their backs. Can you help me? Tobey Maguire, my back. Can you help me? Just like crack my back. Oh, thanks. So that's better.
You're I love that amount of pain, aren't you? I am.
There was a lot of
Goblin stabs him.
There were some fun little jokes. I like. I'm something of a scientist myself.
Toby, in that movie, Toby and Andrew overshadowed Tom in there.
I don't know about overshadowed. I don't know if I would say. Go ahead.
No, I get what he means by that, but they almost couldn't help it because, like I said, it's Tom Holland's franchise now.
Mm-hmm.
And here, these two people that no one ever thought we'd ever see as Spider-Man again,
or together as Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So what a clever way to do it. And
honestly, the way to I don't know why they just don't. Sony does their own Spider-Man, and just while Marvel has their own MCU, who gives a shit? At this point, it's not gonna hurt the MCU. The MCU already did itself. It's already screwed itself over. Honestly, I would rather have a Spider-Man over there, so they at least could have Spider-Man versus Venom or whatever, like crap. If they want to do that. So, because at this point, who's kicking the ass in Spider-Man stuff, it's been the video games. It's been the Across the Spider-Verse. It's been making the MCU, and the comics look like crap because they are crap. He's exposed them. Not to say that Tom Holland's character is a bad Spider-Man. It's just saying it took this movie to reset it to actually get to a serious Spider-Man movie. I'm looking forward to the next one, Tom Holland.
If there is one, and
that's the thing. Is there one? Because
and I said I agree with you. If Sony wants to take him back now at this point, because other than what's his name, John Favreau, it didn't really feel connected to the MCU as much as it felt connected, because it was everybody they brought back were Sony characters anyway.
Yeah.
And the end when he's finally wearing the Spider-Man suit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. I'm ready for him to go off into his own universe. I don't need to see him in the MCU unless they bring the original people back for one more hurrah. But the trajectory that they're on now. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It's in Doctor Strange, obviously.
I'm sorry. This point, I know Sony. I was surprised that Sony is even wanted let Andrew King back, because remember they fired him. So I honestly would love to see if they could do this. Who? Andrew Garfield was fired from Amazing Spider-Man.
He was? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had fired him. He was supposed to get a third movie, but because
they were setting it up for the Sinister Six. They remember the guy was walking down at the end.
He was late to something, and they fired him, or there's some kind of dispute or something like that.
So he was the first. He was the first Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
He showed up at a premiere late or something like that, or didn't know who some executive was and said something to an executive and pissed him off or something like that.
He also said something to the effect that he'd be happy to play Spider-Man gay if they wanted to go that direction too. So he went through his virtue signaling phase, but
didn't work out so well back then.
Well, I'll just say this: my thing, my final thought on this subject, because we're running really late here, because I was going to wrap up early, but I was going to say that as far as Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, give them each at least one more movie.
I thought there were plans to give Tom Holland a whole second trilogy.
No, I mean that, but I mean for Sony though, instead of doing these weird one-offs, with Madam Web and stuff, have it where they have. I want Toby's next chapter. I want Mary Jane.
How about instead of giving them one-offs, how about you just introduce them in a Spider-Man film? Like have Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield fight Kraven the Hunter, or encounter Morbius. Instead of just Morbius is a cool villain, but he's not cool enough to carry his own film and be like the protagonist.
I mean, because if they really want to continue doing a Sonyverse, they need to have a Spider-Man. And I said, I don't know if Tobey Maguire really has it in him to keep doing another trilogy. If he wants to. I mean, he's been very kind of laying low and just kind of hanging out with his family, being a dad. But I would love to see him and Mary Jane, their life, and just have him going against a Sinister Six. It'd be awesome for, just something like that equivalent.
You know what I'd like to see? Just send Tom Holland off in his own direction, but how about one with the two of them together?
Yeah,
find a way to put those two together. And,
No Way Home, but they're stuck they're stuck in their own thing.
Yeah, what if they didn't get sent back to the right place? I mean, that's. And then, because the odds are that you're probably not going to get Kirsten Dunst back for anything more than a cameo anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I mean, honestly, the one I'd love to see the most would be Andrew Garfield, because he doesn't have a Mary Jane.
No.
Not yet, no. As Gwen Stacy.
And he had such a good character arc in No Way Home. I would love to see him finally get his MJ.
MJ.
But knowing these people would probably end up with Paul.
And on the subject of dream scenarios, guys, it's late over here, and I've got an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wrapping
it up here. So we'll be here tomorrow night for the rating starting 7:15 p.m. Central for Power Girl, the 2009 series. And then also doing at 8:15 p.m. Central, we'll be reading the You just saw Captain America 134, I believe. And then
Space.
Zach will not be here tomorrow. Zach does not like to be cool. He doesn't want to read those anymore. It's not cool enough. He's like, I show for 2 times a week and that's it. I can't go and do anymore, guys.
3 if we're including Ash on Comics late night streams.
This channel, bro.
Oh, this channel. Okay. I was here for a reading. That was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? I'll be here for next week's reading, the Wednesday one that we record and then air Thursday.
But don't
That
spoil
one.
it. They'll find out.
I'm not. They don't know what it is. I haven't said what it is.
Okay.
No,
But
Friday night has become date night. So
check out
sorry.
Geeky's channel. He's got some videos up there. Give him some love. And then all the best wishes to Eric Breen and your speedy recovery on your health.
Get better, little Breen. I know how hard it is for us old bastards to get better.
He's got to be speedy at something.
True.
Probably beating your ass if you keep making jokes.
Wait, you don't make fun of him? I'm sorry. I thought I was on the Geeky Puppet Show.
I would never make fun of my paw.
You don't want you see the thing about us old folks is you can make fun of us and we'll just sit here and make fun and say yeah cool, but you realize that we have a lot of fucking time and we can just make sure that it comes back on you a little bit later when you're not expecting it.
In Alaska, they have wood chippers
This
on
is
sale.
just sad.
Right.
How much time do you really have, though? I mean, you say you have a lot of time.
I'm out of a job, so I got a lot of time.
I gotta pick up the slack for Evil Black Cat. He decided to leave early. So
Zach, they're 5 minutes left, down 21.
Who's
and
that?
they've got this guy handing the ball off.
Who's that?
Oh, Burrow's done. He's out for the
Burrow.
So
Yeah.
Browning is just handing the ball off.
Yeah.
They said they heard the pop.
I went for 2 hours without thinking of that gloomy situation.
So last two comments we're leaving. Don't forget Zach's Secret Dinosaurs R Us stream.
That's right.
And then also,
Thanks, MK.
You gotta find it.
Feel better, Breen. Remember, Yogi says it's not over till it's over.
Well, then he went back to pass, and gotta tell you what, Orlando Brown is still on the Chiefs' payroll.
Trying to end this here, guys. Like your sports game, it's never gonna end.
Like that song too.
Good night, guys. See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
everybody.
Kids.